Hello, I'm Cindy. I'm teaching for Colby today. I know typically you do a gentle yoga class on Fridays with Colby, and today we'll be practicing something called Qi Gong. Qi Gong is a form of gentle exercises that are designed for, basically it's a soft form of martial arts, and it's self-defense against stress and aging. So I know we're all interested in that. And to also kind of give into a little bit of the language, qi, which I'll use the word often, refers to energy. And gong refers to cultivation of that energy or working the qi. And we'll be doing that today with a gentle way to move the body and get things moving in the body. And if you have a hard time with the word energy or qi, because I know it's not that common for everyone, think of it in terms of circulation. Think of it in terms of blood flow, getting more circulation to the limbs primarily. A lot of the blood flow likes to hang out in the internal organs in the torso, and our intention in our practice today will be to move some of that energy out into the legs and the arms. So having said that, it requires that we begin with our attention on the breath. Our breath can move energy, and we want to bring attention to smoothing out the breath so that it's not static, but it's nice and smooth. And so in doing so, we'll create what's called box breathing, which is essentially counting our breath rhythm, inhaling 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, and exhaling for 4 counts, and holding the breath out for 4 counts. Now we're going to add a little something unique with this breath work, in that we're going to take the tip of our tongue, place it on the roof of the mouth on the inhale and the holding at the top of the breath. And then as we exhale, we'll lower the tongue and then hold the tongue down as we hold the breath out. And what that does is, as we lift and lower the tongue, is it creates some hydration in the mouth, and we're basically tricking the body to make it feel like we're eating. And the salivation is helping to bring some of the water from below, the dampness in the lower part of the abdomen, up, and to bring some of the heat from the head down. And that's how we begin. So you can place your hands where it's comfortable, and you're also welcome to keep your eyes open or closed for this. And as we breathe in, we'll do the 4 counts because that's easy for most of us. We're inhaling through the nose for 4 counts, tongue at the roof of the mouth, and holding that breath in for 4 counts. And then exhaling for 4 counts, drop the tongue, and hold the breath out for 4 counts. And then do it again, repeating. Inhale 4 counts, lift the tongue, tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth with a little pressure. Hold the breath in for 4 counts. And then release the breath for 4 counts. Exhaling through the nose if you can. Trying to keep it all through the nose for this. Hold it out for 4. Good. And lift the tongue, breathe in 4 counts. Hold. Release the tongue. Breathe out 4 counts. Hold out for 4 counts. Do one more cycle of that on your own. Great, and we're ready to begin with some movement. Let's take the hands and rub them together, just to give yourself a sense of the sensation that we're working with is heat, friction, energy, flow, circulation. So as we create friction in the hands, generating some heat, we should feel a little bit of movement of blood flowing into the hands. Then squeeze the hands, and then release the fingers. And squeeze, we'll do this a couple more times, tensing and relaxing, tensing and relaxing. And now look at the palms. They should be a little bit more pink than they were before, a little bit more wetness in the mouth. And then the next step is to bring some heat to the feet. We'll plug in the big toe, and we'll call this the orchid side of the room for our landmark. And over here, we'll call this the bouquet side of the room. So as we shift our weight towards the orchid side of the room, We want to be pushing off the big toe and then pushing off so that we turn the hips. And then we'll push off the big toe and press towards the heel of this foot. There we go. And rounding off the knife edge of the foot, push and shifting the weight from side to side, getting the sense of creating a figure eight in the lower body. Nice. And when we come off that big toe, give it a big push. And what that does is it brings heat to the feet. So we want to bring attention down into the feet, bringing circulation into the feet. So they say the big toe is the first to go when it comes to death because it's the furthest from the heart. So as we bring that attention to the big toe, we bring attention, circulation, energy into the parts of the body that really need a little extra support, especially as we age. Now, you're also welcome to do all of these exercises in a chair as necessary. Now, hands onto the hips. Go ahead and create hip circles and moving through. Even if you're sitting on a chair, you can move your torso in a circular motion and get the full effect of this along the spine. And then reversing direction. Really working only with the range of motion that feels supportive for you, not compromising in any way in terms of feeling unsafe. And learning more and more how to slow down in our movements and feel what's rising into awareness as we move slowly into these different areas of flexibility and also stagnation. Just reverse direction. These can be done at any time during the day when you need a little pick-me-up, a little extra energy, a little extra circulation into the legs and the feet. We'll get into the arms as well. Now let your arms relax now. And as your hips shift to one side, let your arms lift in the opposite direction. And then swaying down to the center, shifting. And look in the direction of the arms as you shift your weight into the opposite leg. This starts to move flexibility, tension and circulation up the spine, to the thoracic and the cervical vertebrae. It's very gentle. Again, can be done seated. Do one more on each side, noticing how we look down and if we're able to coordinate the breath with the movement. So for example, one more inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Nice. Now if you're able to, if you're standing, take one foot slightly back. So we'll post our weight in the leg closest to the orchid. The foot sliding back will be resting on the big toe. So it's slightly back and wide, enough that you can balance on this leg. Hands can be on the hips, or you can hold on to a chair or anything handy if you need that support. And we'll go ahead and create little circles with that big toe again, bringing more attention to the big toe, drawing circulation and blood flow into the feet. And we're also getting a nice spiral movement up the leg, into the knee, and into the hip. Unwinding some patterns there that might be compromising our energy, our flow, and then reverse direction. Good. And here comes the stretch for the top of the foot, only if you feel safe doing this. The toes tuck under, put a little pressure on the top of the foot. We sink into that. And then let the foot come forward. And we'll post our weight on the leg that we were just working, enough so that we can pick up the heel of the opposite foot without losing our balance. Slide that toe back a little bit and begin to create that movement. Adjusting the position of that leg as needed to feel. Again, hold on to something if you need it. You're going to feel a nice little stir in the ankle and the knee and the hip here. Reverse it. Should feel good. And then add that top of the foot stretch for the fascia if you have capacity to do that. It can be really tender for some people to stretch the top of their feet, so do what feels right for you today. And I like to give it a little kick as I come forward, like I'm kicking sand off my big toe. Always feels good to release the legs in that way. Wonderful. Now roll the shoulders back and down. Sink into the knees a little bit as you roll down and then roll up and back. Be stretching open the chest here. Really feeling into the flexibility of the low back as we bend forward, as we sit back. Nice, and we're going to move into some shoulder stretches here, starting with arm circles. So taking the hand closest to the orchid over to the opposite shoulder, pushing into that shoulder as you open up the shoulder with some arm circles. Notice how the elbow is bent. Just doing some gentle movements here. And the hand is placed on a position just under the collarbone. And what this does is it puts a little bit of pressure on what's called the lung point in Chinese medicine, where you, if you were to go to an acupuncturist and they did some acupuncture on you working with your lungs, this is one of the major points that they would work on. Now reverse direction, go forward. Just give that shoulder a little support as the arm comes forward. Push in with the opposite fingers into that point. Feel the pressure of the shoulder rolling forward and then push against that. There we go. 2 and 1. Okay, and then take the hand to the opposite shoulder. Release that arm, shake, and let's roll back first. Tend to be tight here, so do these movements slowly, putting pressure right into that lung point. And again, if you'd like to, you can add the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Nice slow breaths. Nice slow movements. That elbow bend. And only work with the range of motion that feels productive. Productive meaning not too much, not too little, and then we'll come forward. Push against that forward movement with the opposite hand. Take advantage of that dynamic tension to add some pressure onto that lung point. 2 more. That's the way. Now shake both arms. Shake, shake, shake. Right. Now bring the arms out in front. Take the hand closest to the bouquet. Bring it towards the heart, palm towards the heart, opposite hand in front. We're going to press out, straighten the arm, and extending into a nice stretch for the top of the wrist. You can feel that. Good. Be gentle, but also firm at the same time. Find that balance. Now as you bring your hands close to the heart, you're going to reach underneath and press the thumb into the palm, the opposite hand, push, and then push down, and then out. Stretch your wrist here. Good, pull back on that knife edge of the hand, gently but firmly. Bend the elbow, bring it back, scrub the ribs with the elbow. Now with the fingers pointing down on this hand, you're going to press into the opposite hand and stretch the arm forward, getting another stretch for the wrist. So we like to open the wrists, preparing for our practice so energy can flow into the hands. Go ahead. Do that same thing with the fingers pointing upward, and then keep coming towards me until you bend that elbow and bring the hand behind the head. Now clasp the fingers, curling those fingers, clasp and hold, and we'll reach into a side bend here. We'll do some side bends in our practice today because they're really exceptional for moving lymph fluid. We know we're all interested in that. Take the hand closest to the earth and push the palm of the hand towards the earth. Take the hand closest to what we call sky or heaven and push up. I'm sorry you can't see my top hand, but flex the wrist. And then bring both palms forward, facing each other in front of the body as you come out of the side bend. And let the energy come together between the hands just at the navel center. This navel center is called the lower dantian, dan meaning elixir or medicine, field. Now extend the arms out wide. Imagine extending, stretching energy and circulation around the body. And we'll do the same thing with the hand closest to the orchid. Bring it in towards the heart. And then press out. As you press the back of the hand into the palm of the other one, you feel the top of the wrist getting a nice stretch. Then take the thumb on that top hand, push it in to the palm of the opposite hand as you bring it forward toward the heart. And then extending down with the arms, rotate. So the palm of the hand is now facing me. And then take the fingers on top and draw the knife edge of the hand back towards the heart, but gentle. A little rotation in the wrist. It adds a little bit of a twist, so we want to be really extra gentle. And then releasing the arms down. This time, elbow bends, scrub the ribs with the elbow. And as we bring the arm back forward, we're going to take those fingers down and back, getting a nice stretch on the underside of the wrist. Get back again, this time fingers pointing upward. Bring it out in front. And without pausing or stopping, come over the head, curl the fingers. Take it into a tricep stretch, leaning over to the side. Taking the hand closest to the earth, pushing down. Notice the wrist is flexed. Do the same thing with the top hand and look up if that's safe for you. And then bring both hands forward, facing each other, palms, and collapse the energy down and into the navel center. Turn it and imagine that you're working with a magnetic field, which you are. Your body is a magnetic field. And as we move our hands through the field, we can influence the way energy flows through the body. So this is the whole idea behind our practice today. We're going to create some bigger movements with the arms as we reach the arms up and overhead. Turn the palms towards each other, and then exhale, let the hands float gently down. So this is an effortless movement associated with what's called effortless power in our practice. Rotate the palms towards me, send the arms out to the side, reach up, raise the arms, look up, and exhale, gather the energy, pull it down the center, keep pulling it down. Imagine sending energy from above to below and circulating this qi between the lower part of the body, which tends to be cool, and the upper part of the body, which tends to be hot, so that we're balancing out the temperature and the temperament in the body. Now turn the palms so that they're facing upward, and take the hand closest to the flower arrangement, bring it up, and like we were before, we'll press down and then press up. Pulling imaginary energy along the spine. So imagine you're inside your spine and stretching energy along the spine and seeing how all the internal organs are taking this flow of energy into themselves to support their role and their function. Now stretch out big and wide and turn the energy over so the opposite hand is on top, and we'll do that again, pulsing the energy along the spine. You can add a little bit of a knee bend as you sink and straighten the legs as you rise. You're also welcome to play with separating the legs a little wider and working in a stance that's a little more challenging for the legs, so working at your level. Good, this time again, we're going to stretch it out and wrap it around. And then we're moving into something called separating heaven and earth. So as we bring heaven down towards earth, we bring earth up towards heaven, and we let the hands pass at the heart, crossing. So now the hand below goes up and the hand above pushes down. And then the palms turn towards each other. And again, they find each other. In the middle dantian, the heart's called the middle dantian. And push up. So lower dantian represents our physical Jing or Qi energy, our life force for vitality, physical vitality. And our middle dantian in the heart represents our emotional Qi, or our ability to relate and connect to all life forms. And then there's another dantian, the head center. This is related to what we could call our spiritual energy, or our intuitive capacity, our visual capacity, our ability to have a vision and move towards it. Now we'll move into our side bend again. The top arm over the head, reaching in the opposite direction. Let your bottom hand loop over, side bend, come center, switch the position of the hands. Rising and reaching. Back to the center. Catching that energy. Gliding. Now turn your attention inward towards your spine as you go through these movements. And imagine what it looks like to be on the inside. What does it look like for the spine to be moving sideways? So as I'm moving, for me, moving in this direction, I'm putting pressure right here on this side of my body. For me, it's my right side. So that's my liver getting a nice little push here, kind of a massage, an internal massage for the internal organs. And then as I switch, go to the opposite side, I'm creating a nice opening in the liver for more circulation. And then likewise on this side, my spleen is getting the massage, like squeezing out a sponge. And then as I take that side bend back over to the right, for me, I'm opening up that spleen side, visually seeing it getting flushed out and cleansed and supported by the movements. And then I'll bring everything together right at the heart. Catch that energy ball. Now stretch it across the chest. Compress it. Do something called spinal breathing here. So we often bend our spine forward just by the nature of our daily activities. We're kind of hunched forward and rounding forward a lot. So it's really important for us to counter that pattern with some extension in the spine. Our spine can move in 6 directions. Okay. We can move forward, flex forward. We can extend back. Right? We can move side, side. And the other thing that it can do is it can twist in both directions. Those are the 6 directions our spine is designed to move in, and we're designing our movement today around moving in all 6 directions. So let's add the extension here. First go into flexation by contracting, squeezing, tightening, and holding in. And then as you inhale, come up, separate the arms like goalposts, Bring the arms back, bring the elbows back, look up and feel a nice stretch across the front of the spine. Down into the abdominals, and then exhale, rounding and feeling that stretch come into the curve around the back of the spine. Tuck the chin to the chest and increase the curve all the way up into the cervical vertebrae. And rise up, inhale. We're really slowing the breath down. Stretch out the breath and lengthen the breath. Take longer, deeper inhales, longer, fuller exhales, and that has a cleansing effect on the body. Okay, so the lungs and the breath are associated with the large intestine and the skin. These are all considered the organs of elimination. One of the things that we're really putting our attention on in a healing journey is to help the body eliminate toxicity, stagnant energy, stagnant, unprocessed emotion, all of that heaviness. I want to hang on to it. I want to let it out, create these openings and these pathways to support the body in letting go. One more just like this. We'll open up. Let the arms fly out like wings. And next to the sides. And we'll add our twisting here. And we'll go back to our basic movement of pushing off the big toe as we did before. And let the arms find their way wrapping around. And what we'll do then is add some self-massage for the internal organs. And we'll start with the kidneys. So in the center of the back, between the kidneys, is a point called the Mingmen point. It's also called the door of life. So Mingmen is the Chinese name for it. Door of life. We're going to give it a knock. So the back of the hand knocks on the door of life. Just a nice tap, something that feels like a hello, someone's knocking at the door, but it's not aggressive. Just enough so we know someone's home. We're calling our energy out to play, calling it out to the surface to experience and be part of life. So it's not stuck and stagnant in any area of our body. And the kidneys are associated with fear, so we definitely want to be releasing any energy we have around fear, and certainly we all have lots of reasons these days to be fearful, but also the capacity to discern how to respond to that fear. Now let the hand that's in front tap on that lung point. So we've visited that lung point before. You know where it is. Tap on it with the heel of the hand. Give it a good hello, just like we are on the kidney point. With the kidney, we're working with the water element. And with the lung energy, we're working with what's called the metal element. The metal element is an element of protection. We all have metal in our body. Iron, right? Zinc, copper. These elements protect us, just like a sunscreen contains metals. That's a protection. So we want to keep protecting our body by supporting it in eliminating what it doesn't need. Now, let your arms come back and down to the side. And we're going to pause for a moment. It's always a good idea just to check in to see how we're doing, how we're progressing in our practice by pausing. And it helps to kind of give your body a little shake and settle in. Close your eyes and take your attention inward and notice if you feel any different. And if you do, how? What is different? And there's no right or wrong here. Even if you don't really feel anything, just notice the state of mind, if there's a shift in your state of mind. Good way to check in with that is to see, was there something pulling at your energy before that you were thinking about that now isn't as pressing? It's a good way about it. Now with the backs of the hands together, we're going to do something called tiger claw. And this will add a rotation to the spine. It'll also do some stretching the tendons in the arms and the fingers. So with tiger claw, we're going to be actually creating claws with the hands, and it'll look like this. And you'll feel it if you really create that grip and tense. You'll feel tension and then relax and feel the energy return to the hands like a little tingling. Backs of the hands come together, and you imagine pulling energy up the spine, rotating towards that flower arrangement, extending the arms out, and then tiger claw, like you're clawing your way back home into relaxation. All right, inhale, reach and claw down and relax. Now, as we rotate and extend the arm back, we want to follow our hand with our gaze. So we add the twist all the way up the spine, and we get the full effect of that rotation. Now, the challenge with this is to try to keep the shoulders relaxed as you come up. Can you keep your shoulders down and not up by the ears? So as you lift, can you keep the shoulders relaxed as you reach? And we're all carrying unnecessary tension in the shoulders, so we don't want to add to that. We want to really stretch out these tendons to help create these pathways to release the tension from the shoulders. Good. After this one, you probably start feeling things in your hands you hadn't felt before. And that will be an interesting experience. So we'll get a chance to pause and check in with that in a moment. Reaching, stretching, drawing the energy back. Inhale, exhale. Now we can weave in that breath practice here as we inhale. Let the tongue come to the roof of the mouth. As we exhale, claw. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. On your own. More on the other side. Nice. Now bring the palms facing the torso and draw the hands up and over the head, down the back of the neck, down the front of the shoulders, behind the back, down the back of the legs. Gather forward, trace up the inside of the legs. Bring the backs of the hands together. Good. And we'll continue now, creating circles with the hands. Reach down if you can. Bend your knees, reach down. Bring the backs of the hands together. Now imagine drawing energy up the legs, up the torso, and think of your legs as roots of a tree. Energy rising up and branching out into the arms. Arms, branches, go down into the roots. Full energy from the earth. All the deep, nurturing waters up the roots, into the trunk, then branching out the arms. Again, nice and slow. Exhale forward, fold. Inhale, rise and lift. Reaching up, reaching out. Dropping the arms down. Rolling the shoulders back. and open the chest. Shoulders back, chest open. Good. More circular motions here. And then let the hands float up and then sink down. It's a very basic movement called flowing. And now that we've got our energy moving, we want to give it direction to flow and synchronize with the breath. We rise on an inhale and sink on an exhale. Rise on an inhale and sink on an exhale. Let's add some movement to the side with the arms like flight. So imagine taking flight with the arms like wings to the side. And then moving back out in front. Inhale. Let the breath move the arms. And let gravity call them back to the center. Now as the hands come forward, do that again, just forward and back. Let the hands come a little behind the hips. Forward up onto the toes if you can balance. Back into the heels, a little lift of the toes if you can manage this balance challenge. We're warming up for a little bit more challenging balance exercise just by rocking in to the toes and rocking into the heels and coordinating that movement with the arms flowing back into the heels, arms floating up into the toes, and the breath as well. We exhale back, inhale forward. Now, if it's not possible for you with your level of balance, you're still working on your balance, then you can just stay flat-footed and that's just fine. Now with this one, as we come up, we'll take the hand closest to the flower arrangement, lift up, reach up and back like we did before with tiger claw, but this time rather than clawing, we're scooping energy from behind and bringing it forward and back down to the lower dantian. Good. And up, we'll do it on the other side, scooping, reaching back, gathering, drawing forward and down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And you can choose how the breath works for you. It can be an inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Or just one long breath, your choice. Let's do a couple more. Good. And as I mentioned, we will do some challenges for the balance. So let's do it this way. Take the hand back, reach back, gather. Nice. And as you come forward with that hand, we're going to lift the heel on that side. And for those who have the balance capacity to lift the knee as well, do that. And then lower. Hands back, arms lift, other side. Slide the toe forward, lift the heel. Balance. You work with whatever level supports you. Challenging the balance is really important. We age, don't use it, we lose it. Even if you have to keep your big toe on the floor, perfectly fine. Try just lifting your heel. go back to flowing motion. Take the hands up and over the head. Push out through the arms, crossing. Let the hands slide over to the opposite shoulder. Heart protection stance. And then slide the hands down the arms and catch a ball just below the navel. Take the hand closest to the flower arrangement up and pull a line of energy down into the center of the body. Rotate, create a fist, and as the hand comes down, let it land in the opposite palm with a nice deep contact. Open the palm, release the opposite arm, reach up, gather, look up, and draw down. Nice. Again. As the hand rises, energy is light, the levity. And as the hand comes down towards earth, things get heavier, more dense, and just so heavy it drops into the opposite hand. The support is there. Palms open, rise up, look up. Together. And tight, full energy, sinking and landing. One more on each side. It's called spirit packing spirit. And we're really calling our spirit back into the body, letting it land and be held, supported. Circulate the wisdom of our spirit into our body for the sake of cultivating that internal medicine that can support the body and rejuvenating itself. And then pull that medicine, that internal medicine, into the body, clasping at the thumbs. Webs of the thumbs come together, over to the right, down, underneath the navel, up, and then reverse, down, and around to the right, up the right, across the transverse, and down the left. Stimulating movement in the direction of elimination for the large intestine. I like to, as I come up, over the transverse and down, to put some pressure with the heel of the hand down and in. So any kind of material, waste material that's getting stuck in that curve on the way out can be supported, helping the body out. Great. So there's a number of things that we do as the protocol for Qi Gong. Let your hands come back and rest palms on the kidneys for a moment and let the kidneys take that energy in. So we do slow, gentle movements, which we've done. We do breathing exercises, which we've done. We do self-massage, and we do mindfulness meditation or visualization. So visually seeing the organs in the spine, receiving what they need. That this is the maximization of our effort, is to focus all of our efforts in a single direction. So our thoughts, our breath, and our movement all focusing on the same goal. Now from here, we'll slide the hands up to the opposite shoulder, and then release the arm closest to the flower arrangement and take it, hand under the opposite elbow, and prop that elbow up so you can get a good grip with this hand on the top of the shoulder. Go ahead and massage the top of the shoulder into the trapezius, around to the neck. Feel that penetration of the energy in the hands that we've been cultivating, penetrate the muscles. releasing tension. And then take the elbow, if it's safe for you, up and over into a side bend. Release the arms and come back. Scooping energy up and around. Feel free to add a little bend in the knees for this, up and around. Doing it slowly, with patience and attention. See energy circulating the body and the body taking what it needs. One more. And then taking the hands to the opposite. Shoulders again. Good, let's slide the hand closest to the orchid down. Bring it out in front, underneath the elbow. Support, lift that elbow and get in there with the hand. Good grip on the trapezius muscle. Massaging, kneading out any tension and letting it drain. Squeeze that shoulder, side of the neck. Good. And then if it's safe for you and your shoulder to bring the elbow behind the head and take a side bend here. Extend and release the arms. Bring everything back into the center. Like crossing the wrists, turning the palms down, pressing down. Bending over and imagine calming the waters, and then taking some of that water and cooling off the body, the brain, any excess thinking that's happening in the brain, too much thought. We're going to clear, we're going to calm the waters. The turbidity of the water, calming, and we lift up that calm water, bring it up. Let it shower over the head, clearing the field of constriction and anything congested. Imagine, see, this is the imagination part. We use our mind to create these images. The body doesn't know the difference between a real or imagined experience. We use our imagination to create images for the body. A healthy environment. Now bring the hands, again, crossing at the wrist. And then interlace the fingers with the palms together. Draw the arms down. Lift the elbows up. Press the arms down. And this time with the arms straight, bring them out in front and over the head for a nice stretch. Behind the head. And extend. Bring the arms forward. This time opposite hand on top. Crossing wrist closest to the orchid on top. Fingers interlaced. Drop the arms. Lift the elbows. Stretch the wrist. Release. Extend the arms. Draw a nice stretch up the front of the spine. Reaching back. Uncrossing. And releasing tension off the back of the neck. Let's do it again. Arms come forward, creating a circle. Hand closest to the flower arrangement on top. Turning palms together, interlace fingers, lower arms. Lift elbows. Drop the elbows. Extend the arms. Lifting and reaching back, arching the back. If that's safe for you, hands come behind the head. Push the elbows back, stretch, open that chest. Press anything away from the body that's heavy, dense, congested. Bring the hands forward again. Closest to the orchid, hand on top. Turn, palms together, clasp, lower, lift, sink, and rise. Hands come behind. And let's let the hands come together in prayer position. The heart, interlace the fingers, push down. Extend the arms forward, reach the arms overhead. Now, if you have the capacity in your balance to come up onto the pads of the feet, do so. Otherwise, stay on your heels. And as you lower, let the arms come down and lower into the heels, or stay on your flat feet, your choice. Hands come together, fingers interlace. We draw energy up to the heart. Turn the palms and draw energy back down to the lower dantian. And then pull that energy up and over the head, weaving the three medicine fields of the body and mixing the chemistry of the Jing, Qi, and what's called Shen, is to integrate ourself in wholeness. So our mind and our body and our emotions are in communication with each other, integrating as a single organism, not in competition with one another, but equally supported, engaged, and available for the wisdom that they bring to our life. One more, inhale, exhale, inhale. Control the movement as you bring yourself out with the arms. Keep those elbows soft. We're not hyperextending. And then slowly drop into the heels and do that with control of landing safely and softly into the heels. Roll the shoulders back. We'll add a little bouncing here. And anything that feels good. So this is called wagging the dog's tail. So as the shoulders tip to one side, the hips tip to the other. And notice the knees are nice and soft and dancing with the movement. And then we'll pause and we'll bounce just up and down here. So hips and shoulders stay parallel, perpendicular, aligned. And I'll shake out the arms, let the wrists get a good shake, and we'll add a little twist here at the spine. Now, anything that's accumulated in the body that's still not settled or gone from our breathing and our movement and our visualizing, we're giving permission now for it to find its way up and out of the body, any stagnant energies. So see in your mind's eye, in your imagination, any particular area of your body that is a challenging area for you, see it letting go of something that's holding on, may no longer serve you, that you're ready to let go of. And then pause, just feel as that moves out. See the spaciousness now occupying what used to be a pattern of tension, confusion. And then draw the arms out to the side, breathe in. We're gathering energy from the right and the left side, and we'll rotate to the side of the room with the flower arrangement, and we'll gather from front and back, and then gather above. Bring the hands together overhead, gather from above, and then draw the sky down towards the earth, gathering in the 6 directions. So here's 2 directions, right and left. And then as we twist, we gather front and back. And as we lift the arms, look up, we gather from above and we bring it into the body below. So we pack the energy into this lower dantian. So as you bring your hands down, you want to imagine lifting up on the perineum and holding. It's like if you're going to fill your sink up, you would push the drain so that it's closed, right? So that you're not just letting the water run down the drain. So as we lift up at the perineum and we push down with the energy, we're building a cauldron of energy right here at the lower dantian. Let's do it one more time to finish, reaching out, making sure we didn't leave anything behind from our effort. We worked the field, we gathered and called energy in, and now we're bringing it in. But imagine you were harvesting fruit in an orchard and you picked it all and you left it by the tree, and now you're going back to each tree and gathering what you picked and putting it in your bag to take with you. Yes, that when we want orange juice later, we have it. We just have to know where it is and get it. Now take your hands, again, right where the web of the thumb is and connect them. And if it's safe for you, step your feet all the way together. This is called bamboo in the wind. If it's not safe for you based on your balance, I'm going to be asking you to close your eyes. So that's why I mean, is it safe? Is it safe for you to bring your feet together and close your eyes? Can your balance hold you upright? Or do you need to separate your feet a little wider? Make your decision based on that. And then go with what's right for you, closing the eyes. And if closing the eyes doesn't feel safe, just look downward and soften the gaze downward. You can still get the full effect of the exercise. And the exercise is to let your awareness follow the internal movement. So even though externally we appear to be still, there's movement. And that movement is in response to an internal movement. For me, it's a circular clockwise motion, like a vortex of energy is swirling inside, and my body is adapting to that subtle movement and flow of circulation that's happening based on stirring things up energetically. And I want to see that start to settle like I would a clear, pure glass of water, settling, no cloudiness, crystal clear, starting to settle. Great. And then release your hands. Bend your knees, step out a little ways. Bring the arms forward. And let's create a fist with the hand closest to the flower arrangement. Bring it to the heart. And this represents strength and courage. And then the opposite hand, the palm, pushing onto the knuckles, fingers together. This represents friendship. And the thumb representing humility. And we bow in acknowledgement of our humility, being humbled by a force of wisdom and medicine available to us that we may not always know how it works and how to access it, but we remain open, curious, and grateful. And so I am grateful that you came, and I appreciate your interest, and I hope to see you again.